Here we go again. This is Lance and Roll, the voice of the fans. David Dunn here, John, Martin Prendergast, and Conor McAvoy. You're very, very welcome. Today we're going to be talking about an international switch. Harvey Vale has gone from England to Ireland. Good man, Harvey. And of course, we're going to have a look at Big, and we're going to have a look at who we want to see in the Ireland squad, which gets picked in 3 days' time. But before we do that, before I speak to the two lads over there, just want to remind you of our wonderful partners there, Traveligo, the official travel partner of Lance and Roar, and you can check out Gillian over there at Traveligo. She's going to sort you all out: football, skiing trips, anything you want to do. Go over there. Link is in the description below. She's going to take good care of you. Also, if you haven't already, please do check out our brand new website, lanceandroar.ie. Head over to a Facebook, Instagram, and a Twitter account. And also, if you want to give us a bit of extra support, you can get Roar Plus $4.99 per month. Just helps us out and get a bit of extra content. And, well, actually, no. I was going to say get your sticker and your bar mat stuff on the link below, but actually, no. Head over to our shop, which is in the link below. It's our Etsy shop. We have stickers on there, lads, don't we? And it's all very exciting, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Dave. Yeah, fantastic stickers. I want to see these littered all over Prague for a few weeks' time. So yeah, get them because they're brilliant quality. Yeah. We've got the Collins, Parrott, Coleman, and Heimer ones as well. So yeah, very popular, doing well.
Just gonna 100% share that there, as you can see. Look at that. Don't mind the price. That's pounds because obviously I'm in the UK. But it's, what was it? €12, is it?
Yeah, transfers to euro. So if it transfers your currency, so you're not paying points if you're in Ireland. So because Dave's a scumbag over there. But yeah, they're class stickers, aren't they? And yeah, but you make sure if you're planning to get them ordered in the next, I'd say 2 or 3 days, because if you want to get them in time for Prague, they will have to be posted out and stuff. So be quick. Don't be a slouch with it.
Exactly. Yeah, apologies, we're not live tonight. Just real life getting in the way. Isn't that right, Connor?
Yeah. Oh, Martin, it's is this the first time this year of 2026?
Could be
3 months in, over 100 days in, that we've seen Dave on a Monday show. Is this true?
It could be.
After him trying to disrespect us, like, when is the last time the three of us have been on a podcast together, Dave? You should be delighted because dynamic.
You should be delighted. In fact, the Raw faithful should be delighted that I have returned to.
I think Aaron Gubbins will be the only fella that's happy. Everyone else will be gutted because they're not on Monday live.
No, because you always slag me off, don't you, on the YouTube, and Dave out every episode, and then people go, actually, no, we like Dave.
It still gets like 10 thumbs up though. For some reason, it gets more thumbs up than it does get replies saying they like you. So
it's because you and Martin have like 5 burn accounts each. But anyway, right, let's get in, because we don't want to offend people by trying to have too much crack at the beginning. That seems to annoy people. So we'll get straight into the nerdy football stuff. Yeah, sorry we're not live tonight. Real life and all that stuff. And Thursday
we're going to be doing a reaction to the squad.
We don't know whether we're going to be live or our video. We don't know yet, but we will let you know. People will know like in the next couple of days if we are.
Yeah, so stay tuned to the old social media. Right, lads. Let's get into it, I suppose. Only one place to start. Harvey Vale. There he is. International switch. He's gone from QPR to Republic of Ireland. Isn't that right, Connor?
Well, he can't switch from QPR to Republic of Ireland, but
no, but it's just you have an international switch with QPR and then the Ireland crash. Should I not be the 3 lines?
He's a QPR player and an Ireland player now.
Yeah, I know that, Connor. But you say international switch and has QPR. Anyway, he got a good weekend, didn't he?
Brilliant weekend. Yeah, but yeah, it's first of all, it's just good to have him on board, isn't it? Have another player, very talented player, came through at Chelsea, was kind of the prized possession at Chelsea for a long time in the academy. Was a superstar coming through their academy. Won the under 19 Euros with England, and not just won it, captained them to win it with the 2003 age group. With a couple of actually Irish eligible players in that group with him, Liam Delap, CJ Egan-Riley, and yeah, really highly thought of player. Has played a couple of times for Chelsea's first team as well. Like last year when they played Shamrock Rovers at Stamford Bridge, we remember that. He played the second half in that game. So yeah, excellent player, very highly rated, magnificent left foot. Had a brilliant weekend, as you said, Dave. Got the goal, got the assist, got you'd say half an assist for the cross he put across the box that the defender put in the back of his own net. And yeah, even the goal was a magnificent touch over the keeper's head and then finished it brilliantly. And the assist we've seen about set pieces, how well he whips in a ball off his left foot. It'd be interesting if him and Ryan Manning or Robbie Brady were on the pitch together, who would take the set pieces. But yeah, he seems like he'll be a real asset to Ireland. He's playing off the right for QPR at the moment in like a 4-4-2 shape. I don't think that's his best position, to be honest with you. I think he's better playing as a number 10, playing as number 8, because there's only one thing he really, really lacks, and that's pace. He is quite slow, but it's not, he makes up for it because his technical ability is kind of ridiculous. Like, you'd argue he's the best left foot in the championship. Has a brilliant football brain, and like, it's not like he's small and slow. He's massive, like he's big size, so it's not like he's going to get bullied off the ball or anything. He was out in loan at Bristol Rovers a couple of years ago, where he played left back and done quite well. So yeah. Oh, sorry, did I break up there?
No,
Can you hear me?
Don't
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Oh, no, you
just
used froze
Connor.
for me. I used froze for me. Martin was looking down, and Dave was giving me the beady eyes there, and I was thinking, "Oh, what's happened to me?" But no, he played left back as well. So I was thinking, I don't know if you remember when we were playing 4-4-2 with Ryan Manning as our left midfielder with Brady behind him. And the way I think of it like that is, he could be a real option that if we decide to go with Manning or Brady as left back, and we want to go with that 4-4-2 again with a left footer on the left hand side, he could easily play there. Obviously he does not bless with pace rating, but because he's so talented on the ball, and we've seen Manning actually done quite well there despite being limited in that position. But Harvey Vale would give you so much more going forward, because he's a natural like number 10, I would say, in my eyes. So I think, especially with the likes of Fessy suspended for the first game, he's definitely an option. And the timing of it as well, lads, I think hints that he's going to be in the squad. I know he's had his passport for 2 or 3 years. He was meant to be going to League One, it looked like, at one stage, but he has stayed in England with QPR. And I feel like just the timing of it means he's going to be in the squad. Even if he's not, it's a huge option, because even if he's not going to be an instant hit, I think in 18 months' time we could look back at this player and be like, what a coup we got this lad in now. What a shrewd bit of business. I know it's not business, like it's a transfer, but by Hamer Hallgrimsson. So yeah, I think he's a brilliant addition. Maybe we mightn't see a whole pile of them this coming month. But especially I think if, God forbid, we lose that first game, I think he'd definitely get his debut in the second game. But I wouldn't be surprised if he plays in the first game either.
Martin, what do you think? Good coup?
Yeah, certainly, because as Connor's explained there, but we've got a lot of followers, haven't we, and viewers of QPR fans, and yeah, I've had a few messages from them saying he's a really good. No, not just Deck, but just that he's a very good technical player. A little bit of a slow burner, I think, with QPR, and he's coming to the fore now with them. So, yeah, they've said this is a real player for you to consider. So, yeah, I think it is the timing, as Connor said, is interesting. And, I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I wasn't expecting anybody that we've not really spoken about to be in contention for this, possibly going to a World Cup. It's incredible, really. I mean, if he comes into that squad and he gets his debut and we get to the World Cup, that I don't think he would have imagined that a while ago either, though. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. And quite strong links, obviously, with kind of London Irish community as well. I know a few people have messaged me as well saying, been onto his, friends with his parents or know his parents, and they're delighted that this switch has happened. So, all really positive, I think.
Yeah, I love it. I don't get people's attitudes saying, I'd rather give a cap to an Ireland player, someone born in Ireland. So who cares? At the end of the day, some of our greatest moments were scored by people who were not born in this country. Or for a very first goal, major tournament, Ray Houghton, Kevin Sheedy, first goal of the World Cup. But yeah, people just want to row. People just want to find faults in things. I think it's a very good addition. Listen, this is a good side. We've maintained that for a very long time here in this podcast, all three of us. But we need additions, and he's a very good addition. He's only 22. He will be 23 this year. He's only 22. I like what I saw of him in the highlights for the QPR Leicester game. I know Leicester are terrible, but he likes a long ball over the top. He read that beautifully well. So say Heimer be absolutely rubbing his hands. But but you need that. You need that little bit of ingenuity at international level, especially international level, and that is what differentiates you between an international player and a non-international player, you have to sometimes think for yourself a little bit because you're not coached to the nines. You know, like you have maybe one training session in a whole international window. Yeah, like what he saw, very busy, and he played that ball in, which obviously ran turned to his own net. But you know, he was there. He was there to make that run. He was there to cross that ball. So yeah, I like it. And we need all the help we can get. So I don't care, and I have no issues if he starts, because you know that'll be the other thing if he does start against Czechia. Oh, he hasn't played. That's not fair. Give it to someone else. Give over. Like we had somebody moan on the page. There's when it looked like Czech Republic were going to be missing a couple of key players, and someone said on the page, "Oh no, you know." We don't want to get there because of their injuries. I don't care how we get there. None of us care how we get there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just some people, like, unbelievable.
Do they think to see him out because Josh Cullen being out? Well, I wonder, will the Czechs think to see him because Josh Cullen's out? We don't want to beat them because they're missing their number 6.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, you know, some people are just ridiculous. But no, I think it's a great addition. Fair play. Came out of nowhere. Connor, did you have any inkling? I knew, you know, obviously you said he had his passport for a couple of years. Did you know that, or did that sort of?
Oh, I knew he had his passport for a couple of years, and I'd known they were watching him and were interested in him, but I didn't know what his interest levels were. I didn't know he was interested in the switch this soon.
I mean, he probably hedged his bets a little bit. I don't really care as long as he does the business in green, like he did on the weekend. You know, that is the main thing. But yeah, right. So, Harvey Vale, welcome to the boys in green, and yeah, hopefully
you're one of Martin.
You're
one of Martin now.
Yeah. Yep. No. Moving on. I was got jokes flooding to my mind there, but I won't. I won't get involved. Right? Will we do the oi big?
Go on, son.
Yeah. God, I haven't done this in ages. Right, we're going to goalies. We start with goalies, not defenders. Right, we're going to have a look at the goalkeepers here. Some interesting revelations coming here. Right, here we are, boys in green. Cream Keller plays tonight for Brentford. Max O'Leary, 66 minutes, has 3-0 win over Hull, so he is injured, I take from that. Josh Keeley, 90 minutes, a 2-1 win over Wycombe Wanderers. Mark Travers, new sub for Everton. Good man, Mark. Gab Mazunu, sorry, he's injured for Stoke, which I feel terrible for. He's having an awful time of it. So, I presume, Max O'Leary,
as the Americans said, just because of the fact about, you know, they say about get that bag, they love to state it about. Whilst we wouldn't be like that. Wouldn't you like to get that bag? Go get the money. Mark Travers.
Money. He's sold out. You sold out. Listen, best luck to him, man. That guy was messed around by so many people, by so many clubs. Bournemouth messed him around. You know what? Who cares? Yeah. So obviously there, Max O'Leary taken off with an injury, I presume. Connor, I reckon, is he doubt for the squad? Bazunu obviously a doubt for the squad as well. Josh Keeley,
yeah, Super Josh Keeley in goal. It could be. But obviously, thankfully, no worries over Kelleher. Well, hopefully after this comes out tonight, nothing's happened against Wolves. Travers will be fine because if he gets injured between now and the squad, there'll be something wrong. Really, curse. Like, yeah, Bazunu
getting up from the bench.
Yeah, that's it, from running laps in Finland still. But Bazunu was meant to be back last week, and then it was a bit strange. He wasn't in the squad, and then it came out that he picked up a setback to his recovery and training last week. And it's looking very shaky whether he'll be fit to make the squad. My reckoning is that he will be named on Thursday's squad, and it will depend if he plays at the weekend or comes into the squad. Say, for example, he'll be named in it anyway, and if he pulls out, they'll just have him there just in case he's ready to go. And Max O'Leary, we don't know the extent of the injury, don't really know what the injury was, but he came off after 66 minutes for West Brom in that big win against Hull City the other day. And you'd always worry, wouldn't you, if a keeper's going off injured, because a lot of time a keeper can have pick up a sore hamstring, sore calf, and they can play through it and get through it okay, even though they're in a bit of pain. But the fact he had to come off signals alarm bells to me that he's going to be out for the window. That's just me going off my head. Like, I have tried to look, and there's been nothing said concrete, knowing what the injury was. But then thankfully we have Josh Keeley then could potentially come into the squad as that probably number 3. And even though when you think of it, like if it is, for example, Kelleher and then it's Bazunu and Travers is the backup, you have Kelleher your number one, but if anything happens to Kelleher, Bazunu has played one game in 2026, that QPR game for Stoke, and is coming back off being out for 6 weeks. And then Travers hasn't played since September, which is crazy. He hasn't played a game since September. And that was a loss to Wolves, which has aged very well in the League Cup. So, like, that's two keepers not playing well or not playing football really at all. So then you'd be interested. I imagine they'd go with O'Leary over Keeley just because of experience, and he's playing in the Championship if O'Leary's fit. But it looks like to me that O'Leary could be out. So we're in a real tricky situation with the keepers that we have a bit of an injury crisis, but thankfully we have so much depth at the goalkeeper position that we'll be all right. And then I think it comes back to whatever. People always be like, "Oh yeah, we don't need him. Sure, we have enough keepers anyway. Why do we keep producing keepers?" But it shows why you need a player pool of depth and why you need so many keepers, because anything can happen like this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Brentford play Wolves tonight, so maybe someone's feeling a little bit vengeful and go 2-footed in El Kelleher, Martin. Yeah. That's it.
No, I mean,
we're goalkeeper.
I think just it's mad because we were a few years ago we were talking about the high level of competition between Bazunu and Kelleher, and now just it's the keeper's lot, isn't it? Like, we've had some horrendous injuries. You're thinking Bazunu's especially, and lads aren't playing. They've made decisions to go to clubs and earn money, which is absolutely right. But I probably have more admiration for Super Josh Keeley, as we said, because he's gone down that level, and but he's week in, week out. He's really, really good, and I'd have no problem if he comes in that squad at all and then contributes to it. It's mad that you think back to Luxembourg where he was called up for that game and he didn't even get like 10 minutes in that. I think looking back now, you think I know that where the goalkeeper that night obviously got his choice. Got rewarded for a number of years, but it's just Dave, you and me are a bit older than Connor, aren't we? But we remember when international friendlies used to be, you would give 10-20 minutes to your sub goalkeeper, especially just to get them used to it. And yet, worst case scenario here, we could have if anything did happen to Kelleher, because you don't know with Kelleher, do you? Like, I know he missed games recently with the birth of his child and things like that, but if it was a strain that he's been managing, you're not necessarily going to know that. And if something did happen, you got Josh Keeley coming in, making his debut in such a high level game. It's mad, really.
It can happen. It can happen, yeah. I mean, just to your point, yeah. Mick used to experiment a lot, to be fair, and Stephen Kenny never did. And
he did.
What, with friendlies?
His very last game against New Zealand, he brought Travers on at half time for Bazunu.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, the time to do that was against Norway and Malta in that window. We won't get bogged down in that, Yeah. But this is why you experiment, especially now because friendlies are so few and far between. But anyway, Josh comes in. Brendan, if he's still talking to me. Anyway, right, let's get to the defenders. Robbie Brady, 9 minutes and 2-0 loss to Norwich for Preston. John Egan, 90 minutes and a 3-0 loss against West Brom. Seamus Coleman, an unused sub. We don't care about that. Nathan Collins plays tonight, of course, against Wolves. Matt Doherty plays tonight against Brentford. Come on, Matt. Josh Honahan, he is injured at the moment as well. Jesus. Jacob Ryan, 90 minutes at that 2-0 loss against Arsenal. Andrew Amabamidali, 90 minutes against Paris FC. He's getting a nice run of games there. Darryl Shea, 90 minutes and a 2-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday. Liam Scales, 90 minutes and a 3-1 win over Motherwell, Celtic. James Banquo, 90 minutes and a 3-1 loss against Stoke for Watford. Jimmy Dunn, 90 minutes and a 3-1 win over Leicester. Callum Dowda, no game. Mark McGuinness, not in the squad for Sheffield United. Ryan Manning, 90 minutes and 2-1 win over Coventry for Southampton. Aaron Cash, 90 minutes and 2-1 win over Millwall. He's getting a run there. Well done. Samuel Garcia McNulty, 90 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Groningen. Will Ferry, 90 minutes and an assist and a 2-2 draw against Dundee in the Dundee derby. Karina Daba, 10 minutes and 2-1 loss against Napoli for Lecce. Kevin O'Toole, 90 minutes in a 3-1 win over Colorado Rapids. Why did you made me put Kevin O'Toole in the back in the eye big, Connor?
What do you mean back? It's his first time in.
All right, you made me put him in the eye big, Connor. Why? You think he's going to be in the squad?
He's a member of the squad. And I seen his interview last week. It was quite heartwarming, speaking about possibly breaking into the squad again for March. Although I think it's very unlikely. I think he's like fourth in the pecking order on that left-hand side at the moment. But no, but he's supposed. I haven't watched any MLS this season yet, but suppose he started the season very, very well. So that's kind of, and we do it about lads that are kind of either on the periphery of the squad or been in the squad. And he was in the most recent squad, Dave, and he has a 100% win record whilst being in the Ireland squad. So I think he's a good luck charm.
Good luck charm. Okay. Yeah, anything to say there about the defenders, lads?
Just Robbie Brady, I suppose, back. Only 9 minutes, I think, but it's good to see him back, and you'd hope that he's going to be up to fitness now in the next few weeks and get a bit more game time coming in there. Probably am expecting him to be in the squad, which we'll come on and chat about later. But yeah, good to see him back.
Yeah.
COD, yeah. I'll go on there.
COD didn't have a game, did he? Because he was in Europe during the week.
Yeah, they gave them the weekend off, which fair play to them after getting 90 minutes and a 2-0 win against Braga, which is a very impressive result for Ferran Farsh and Robbie Keane. So he is a good option to have again. It's good that we've had those lads kind of come back into the reckoning, himself and Brady. Obviously, you think Brady would be ahead of him. But yeah, it's good to see that Cashin proven David wrong again. 2 player of the months in a row at Blackburn. Another big win for them. So he's doing excellently well, but he won't get in the squad breaking into this one. And I think just the other defender really to talk about, Dave, is your other friend, Mr. Omobamidele.
Yeah.
5 starts in a row in the league. Another clean sheet. Absolutely flying. We'll get to talk about him probably with the squad, but like I don't think he can do much more at the moment to try and break into a very, what you'd say, a tight-knit defense that's kind of I think he's really happy with. But I think Omobamidele he's really starting to kick on again, and the main thing I think we all know talent is there, is just staying fit.
Can I just say that I, at this rate, have just single-handedly rejuvenated so many Ireland careers. I mean, Aaron Cashin, Nathan Collins, Seamus Coleman, Andrew Omobamidele.
John Egan.
The list goes on and on and on. I've just revitalized. So my words of encouragement, I should be going on tour, lads. I should be going on tour.
What did you do for Nathan Collins?
Call them out. Call them out when you were like, "Oh, Nathan Collins is the best player in the world," with your little tweets, and I was like, "No, hold on a second." And I criticized his style of play, and he's learned, and he's adapted, and he's flourished.
But he nearly cost us in Budapest with his dive.
Don't you talk about my Nathan Collins like that. I can't remember. I can't remember anything about that game except.
Do you remember when he had the ball and they end up like having a massive chance because he had the ball and someone like pushing the back room and he decided to throw himself to the ground in a very theatrical dive.
Did he? Jesus.
You know what? It's definitely on like the shorter highlight packages. It's like, what are you doing, man? But
it's at the end, is it?
It was like the last 15 minutes. It was when we were either 2-1 down or 2-2.
Yeah, he does have the old brain for him, doesn't he, Nathan Collins? No, look, I'm happy for Aaron Cashin because you were ranting and raving about him. I'm glad to see he's getting a run of games because I don't want to see any Ireland player rot away in the bench, unless you're Mark Travers, because obviously he's happy with that. I'll probably get a tweet now, won't you? Another player upset. Yeah, no, happy for Andrew Omobamidele. I think, we're going to touch on that in a bit, but he's playing in a top league, in a very good side in a top league. So I don't see what else he can do. He's getting minutes. So anyway, right, let's move it on to the midfield. Where are we? Here we go. Jason Knight, 90 minutes and 1-1 draw with Middlesbrough. Killian Phillips, 90 minutes and 2-0 loss against Rangers. Will Smallbone, 2-1 loss against Blackburn, 13 minutes. Jack Taylor, 24 minutes and over Sheffield Wednesday. Sorry. Josh Cullen injured. I'm losing my composure. Finn Azaz, 90 minutes and 2-1 win over Coventry for Southampton. Mark Sykes, 90 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Middlesbrough. Jason Maloney, 90 minutes and a 3-0 win over Hull. Managed to stay in the pitch. Good man, Jason. Annie Moran, The 65 minutes 2 loss against Norwich. Preston. Inside joke, folks. Inside joke. Alan Brown, 90 minutes in a 1-1 draw at Bristol City for Middlesbrough.
Boston Law's back this week.
Back this week, sorry. Conor Coventry, 6-8 minutes in 1-1 draw with Oxford United. Not technically good enough. Joe Hodge, no game. Jacob Devaney, sorry, 90 minutes 2 loss against Rangers. And yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you're right there, Dave.
Yeah, just get flashbacks of a particular conversation.
You're mad.
Sorry, folks. Private. My lack of. I'm only back 1 week, and I'm already causing. Go on. Oh, he's frozen in time. Oh, he's back. You're back, Connor.
I'm back. I think
what
I'm
were
back.
you going to say?
But I was going to just say, keep that smile on your face, because Andy Moran is back. We are back. We've never been so back. And finally got his first start the other day against Norwich. And although they lost, he was by far their best player, which was great to see. Obviously, it's too late to get in the March squad, but he was actually really, really good. And they played him as a number 10, which always helps when you play a number 10 as a number 10. He was doing makes the game look so easy at times. He's just one of those players that does
sitting on a bench.
It's a simple thing. So, and he did a few flicks around a few players just to make it look a bit fancier. But yeah, it was great to see. And I think just getting him back on the pitch and getting 65 minutes in the legs, and he'll start again this week. He definitely done enough to keep his place in the team. He was their best player anyway. Mr. Jason Knight, Dave, had a new position the other day. He's played in the centre of a back three for Bristol City against Middlesbrough in that big 1-1 draw for them, actually, even though they're not going to get playoffs anymore, but it's still a big result, 1-1. And he played in the centre of a back three. Obviously, Alan Brown was playing centre mid for Middlesbrough as well, and he missed 2 huge chances. He really should have scored one of them. One of them was a dreadful miss. Mark Sykes also got 90 minutes at right wing back. He's definitely doing his chance as well of getting in the squad if he's going to get in. Jacob Devaney had a brilliant game for St Mirren at home to Rangers. Done really well against obviously a good Rangers side in the middle of the park. Very good on the ball, composed. Himself and Killian Phillips got 90 minutes, Dave. I don't know why there's a little smirk on your face, but yeah, Jacob's doing really well. Unfortunately, he won't get in the senior squad, but he's doing well. Jason Malumbi, another 90 minutes in the leg, big win. He got an 8.0 rating on SofaScore, which means he done well. Cousin Will, another 15 minutes in the legs, probably too late to make the squad. And other than that, King Boston is back this week. It was hopeful that he would have been back to play last weekend or the other day, get a couple of minutes in the legs. I don't know if you've seen Mark Robbins giving out, basically saying that, oh, it looks like Boston's going to get picked for Ireland. He's still going to get picked for. Obviously, they must have spoke to Halgrimson. He said, I'm going to pick him. And he's not really happy about it. But I know Boston is back in training today, or like fully training, that there's no issues or like injury worries. And they play Friday night, I believe. So you'd hope he might get 15-20 minutes or even half an hour in the legs in the middle of the park to get himself ready for next week, presuming he's in the squad, which it feels like it's going to be after Mark Robbins' comments. But yeah, huge that we have him back as even an option, even if Halgrimson decides not to use him, which he should be using him in my eyes. But yeah, it was a better weekend for midfielders. Like Conor Coventry starting regularly again. Alan Brown, even though he's playing as on the right hand side, he's not even playing in the centre of the park. Finn Azaz in Southampton won again. They're 3 points off the playoffs, I believe. They're behind Wrexham, 3 behind Wrexham, 6 behind Hull. I feel like Hull are going to end up not bottling because 6 points is huge, but they're going to end up dropping out, and Southampton and Wrexham will get in. But yeah, a good weekend for midfielder point of view, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Martin, anything to add to that?
No, just I like I kind of said about the Stoke comments. It was interesting, Mark Robbins. Yeah, so I took that as confirmation that he's going to be in the squad, and that's what we wanted it to happen. And I'm just hopeful of that.
Is that not obvious though? Because I picked the squad, so
exactly.
I picked the squad.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to get attacked by Mark Robbins when we're over in Prague. Listen, I mean, obviously no Josh Cullen, so we need to get a little bit creative there. Jason Knight seems to be a victim of his own not durability, versatility. Again, that's somebody I just saw there. Andy Moran played according to Transfer Market, played as a deep line midfielder, defensive midfielder.
No, I didn't. I don't know where they got that. No, I didn't. No, he played as number 10. Or they can't play him as like they kind of play a very strange. They go a real traditional 5-3-2 system, and he kind of played as like one of the centre mids, but was the highest of it. So he wasn't playing as a defensive midfielder, unless they went by that. Unless they thought they played with 3 DMs, but he definitely wasn't playing as a DM.
Okay, no, just interesting. Right, let's move it on to the attackers, lads. I'll try not to laugh this time. Fessia Basella, 56 minutes and a red card and 3-0 loss to Galatasaray. And Ferguson, well, we know he's injured. He's had successful ankle surgery, so best of luck. Adamida injured, but he seems to be back training, I believe. Casey McAteer, unused sub for Ipswich Town. Troy Parrott, 90 minutes, a goal and 2 assists in a 4-0 win over Heracles. Sammy Smodic plays tonight for Derby. Sinclair Armstrong, 68 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Borough. Middlesbrough for Bristol. Micah Johnson is injured as well. Rokavata injured. Tom Cannon, 19 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Birmingham. Chidozie Ogbeni not in the squad for Sheffield United. Tyler Goodrum also injured. Ademo Amaku, 65 minutes and a 1-1 draw with Charlton. Johnny Kenny, 45 minutes, 2 assists, and a 2-0 draw with Rotherham for Bolton. Owen Elding, 75 minutes in a 0-0 draw with Livingston. Still hasn't sorted out his paperwork yet. Hellenic Ali plays tonight for Portsmouth. And Harvey Vale, 95 minutes, a goal, an assist, and a 3-1 win over Leicester City. Just looking there, lads, there's no way Harvey Vale isn't going into that squad. Fucking nobody. Like, fucking injured or they're not playing. Like, Harvey Vale is it. That is. I mean, I would be shocked. You know, when you see it there, I know we looked at the thing, but when you see it there in black and white, there's no way he's not going into that squad. Yeah. We aren't seriously bad nick up front. We got Troy Parrott. Obviously, Festi is out. Is he out of the? He's out for the first game as well, and he's having a terrible time in Turkey at the moment. Chidozie Ogbeni isn't playing, although he'll still give you 100%. Tom Cannon isn't playing. Not really. He's just gone completely off the boil. You know, the thing with Tom Cannon is, you know, a bit of a disappointment. You might get like 1 or 2. You get like loads of games, nothing happens, and then you might get the odd goal or something, and a load of nothing. Really disappointing. So Harvey Vale has to go in there, has to reinvigorate that forward line up there.
Well, that's if he's considered a forward. You wouldn't be surprised if he's dropped in as midfielder with his ability.
Yeah, but I mean, he'll still bomb forward, won't he? You know, got the big man up top, Troy Parr. And Adamida, he's coming back from injury.
He's Disneyland.
Oh yeah, he's in
Disneyland. He was in Disneyland. Yes, I got a few messages from people saying they met him in Disneyland, which is interesting. But I did see the Swansea manager Matos saying that he is fully fit and he was back in full training, but they didn't want to risk him on Saturday. They wanted to wait till next week to play him. So he is back, unless he picked up an injury in training on Friday or Saturday that made him. But I presume he probably had Saturday, Sunday off, and he may have went to Paris for the weekend and was back for Monday for training, which I presume is what the case was, because some people seem to forget footballers are allowed to enjoy their lives as well and go away for a couple of days. But yeah, you'd hope he would be okay for Thursday for the squad. But yeah, I was thinking there, Dave, we should just unhide Obafemi and Louis Barry, because they're obviously both injured as well for basically the rest of the season, just to emphasize how bad the injuries are in that position. Because we've just got so many injuries, and even Aaron Conley as well. Even though he's good that he's back on grass, he actually would have been a genuine option this month, and we probably should have had Didsy back in because he is technically unretired himself if called up.
That's not going to happen. We know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it depends but he wants to be called up. It's obviously wants to be picked. He scored again the weekend, a pile driver. But yeah, the forward line is a bit depressing at the moment. But at least Johnny Kenny got 2 assists, came off the bench at half time to tear it up. Festi played left back and got sent off, which is actually that's what happened the last time we played left back. If you remember, do you remember he got sent off because some fella ended up like breaking his ankle because of his tackle, even though it wasn't even that bad of a tackle. It definitely wasn't a sending off offence, but it was where your boy's ankle was planted that he ended up breaking it, so they sent him off, which is a bit ridiculous. But yeah, other forwards but at least the King Troy up front got his goal, his 2 assists, after scoring 2 midweek, and that assist was absolutely ridiculous, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
first assist, I mean, flicking over the defender's head and then knocking it down for Minance, I believe, scored the goal. So yeah, it was, at least he's fit and flying. Over 30 goals for club and country this season. He's just an unbelievable player, and it's too easy for him now in the Dutch league.
Yeah, he is a lovely footballer, Troy Parker. I've always said it about him. Lovely player. Just needs to be a bit more physical. And yet again, he became more physical. See, he got another player just revitalised, lads. Come on.
He's just, I think, did he not just like physically mature?
Yeah, just took in time.
I think it's a bit like Andy Moore, and I think he'll just take just a bit of physical maturity.
Yeah, sure.
I can't wait till Andy Moore and just proves everyone wrong and shows how good he is. It's going to be a good day for
he'd be 30, he'd be 31, and he'd be banging him in like League One or something like that, and kind of be trying to get him in like Didsey into the squad.
38, you mean?
Still, hasn't added to his caps. Martin, happy forward line's a bit depressing, isn't it?
It's a bit depressing, but like what we said there, Troy Parrott is in flying form and a confident form as well, and I think he's just going to be fearless. He knows the support of the nation, the weight of the nation, though, is on his shoulders as well. There's that expectation as well, but I think he can handle it, and his position's not under threat. He's performing really, really well, and yeah, he's just by far our best striker at the moment. So
Martin,
it's just a case of who's going to be around him.
What happened to your Enfield Town shout outs to Cian Dillon? I see he's back with their 21s after being injured. Is he going to make a return to Enfield before the end of the season?
They were hoping so, but he's out injured. He was out injured. So yeah, he might be back now, but it's just trying to get him involved back at Enfield if they can get him in. I'm sure they're trying. I'll try and find out though. But yeah, it was a shame. He was, because Enfield Town massively missed him. Yeah. They just can't score, so he did really help with that.
Okie dokie. Well, that's your Roy Big. As depressing as it is. Of course, the squad will be announced this Thursday. Connor's going to be down there, our man in Dublin. And
if there's anything you want me to ask him or Halkinson, make sure you put it in the comments, because if someone has a good question that they want me to ask, make sure you ask me to ask it, because I will ask it.
Yep. And that's if Connor doesn't start crying when he sees Dissy isn't in the team or anymore. Anyway, right, let's have a look, lads, at our predicted squad.
Who's going first?
Well, I'm trying to find. Well, I wanted to do the one where. Oh, we're just doing our. Oh, okay.
We're doing ours first, and then we'll do predicted last. I think we'll go through ours first, and then we'll do what we predict.
Wait, you need to update the predicted bit. I'm missing a squad there, Connor.
Oh, you're missing mine. I'll add it back in. Because I updated a player.
We'll do Connor's first then, because it's going to come straight up on the screen.
Okay, since you want to see, because you just want to copy me as per usual. That's why when I sent it for the graphic, I shouldn't have sent mine first, but I had to, because I know you would have done it if I didn't send mine first. But this is the squad.
Boston, look at him.
I actually didn't put Boston there. Our admin came on, put him there. So, but he just knew what to do. But anyway, this is the squad I want Tamer to pick. It's quite straightforward, like in a lot of positions. Obviously, I have Kelleher, Travers, Keeley. That's just an anticipation that Bazunu and O'Leary are out. Like, I'm not silly that if Bazunu's fit, I know he will be picked. But that's what I would have. And then the defenders, pretty much the exact same as November. I'd have Collins, O'Brien, Coleman, O'Shea, Manning, Scales, Egan, and then the two new ones I would have in would be Omo Bamadelli and Robbie Brady. That would mean that Kevin O'Toole and Jimmy Dunn drop out, which I feel really harsh on taking Jimmy Dunn out. But I just feel that because of what Omo Bamadelli has done in the last couple of months in 2026 with Strasbourg, can't be ignored, and he's doing so well. Even though I did have Jimmy Dunn in it until about 20 minutes ago. So like I am very, like my mind can be switched on quite easily. Like I do think Jimmy Dunn is probably the ultimate type of player to have in the squad if he's not going to play, which could make you think maybe he should be in it. But then Omo Bamadelli's just talent alone, I think, deserves recognition, and shows that there is a pathway back in there for him. And like you'd probably be saying, well, why not John Egan? I think John Egan's leadership is just invaluable, and he has to be there, has to be in the squad, and he's doing really well with a whole team that's flying. Like QPR are really struggling at the moment. I know they beat Leicester at the weekend, but they've been going through dreadful form. And then the Robbie Brady's just obvious that he's just going to come back in, isn't it? Like it's just what he offers, leadership as well. So even if you want to take out John Egan, you have Robbie Brady coming back in leadership, and it's just quality alone as well in the defence. So yeah, that's what I would have in defence. Midfield, I think going with quite heavy in the central midfielders. Jack Taylor, Alan Brown, Finn Azaz, Connor Coventry, Boston Lowell, Jason Knight and Jason Malumbi. Obviously, that would mean that Jason Knight, Boston Lowell and Alan Brown, the three would come in from they weren't involved in November. Knight's obviously a cert after missing out through injury. Alan Brown looks definite to come back in after his run of form. Although I would look at him more as kind of a right wing back option. I think he would be better suited there than playing the centre of park. But I just think because you'd always presume Alan Brown's a midfielder, you'd just put him in as a midfielder. I don't want to really see him playing in the midfield too. So I think it's back up to Seamus Coleman. I think what would suit him best. And it means you'll have to pick a lad like Matt Doherty, nothing against him. I just think that Brown has that versatility, he can play in midfield and in defence. So, and then obviously Boston Lowell is kind of my pick that I'd always go with because I just think he's too good to leave out. And then forward line I'd have Parrott, Ida, Festi, Ogbene, Sinclair Armstrong, Johnny Kenny, and Harvey Vale. I know we're missing Festi for the first game, which would kind of mean on the right hand side we're kind of short in options. But as I said, with Alan Brown, he can even go up there. Harvey Vale would probably be more of a right-sided or left-sided option rather than the middle of the park at the moment first. And yeah, I know I've gone with 4 strikers, but I just think fitness-wise we kind of have to, because we don't know what Ida's going to be like. And I think with Sinclair Armstrong and Johnny Kenny, I think it just adds a bit of something different. The two of them are both different to what we have already, and then they're both different to each other. There is obviously names like Sykes, McAteer, can come in as a right-side option. I do think, and even like Jimmy McGrath could play off the left or up on 10, and even Sammy Smollett as well. But yeah, that would be the team I would like to go with. But I would probably change my mind before Thursday's squad announcement, to be honest. But yeah, that's what I have currently in my head that I'd like to see him go with. But you can go with yours, lads.
Right, man, you're next up.
Yeah, so that's not my squad. That's not the one I selected, by the way. My goalkeepers are wrong. I had Josh.
All right, no, don't go with that one then. I'll see if there's still one that's on it. Sorry. No.
See what happens. I thought that was a mistake. Dave.
No. Let's see.
Probably gonna got fucking Pat Bonner on there.
Oh,
but go on to.
Okay, so my goalkeepers are. Oh yeah, go on, Dave scored then.
Yeah, yeah. We'll do my. Oh, this is right now. I'm getting. Is that? Is that? What?
We've got McGoldrick as well.
Or maybe it's wrong. But I think Martin's is fine, just the goalkeepers are different, isn't it?
Yeah. So go back to my one if you want. Yeah, so my squad, I went with the goalkeepers as obviously Kelleher, Mark Travers if he's fit. I don't think Bazunu is going to be fit, so I brought in Josh Keeley. Got no problem with that. And also, as I think we'd be very optimistic if we think we're going to win 2 games over 90 minutes or over extra time. I think one of these games is inevitably going to go to a penalty shootout. And I think with Kelleher, his penalty record is fantastic. So too is Bazunas as well. He's got a good record from penalties. But of course, Super Josh Keeley, bring him in for that. Anyway, on the defenders, assuming this is right, I've got Nathan Collins, Jake O'Brien, James Coleman, Darragh O'Shea, Jimmy Dunn. I think Jimmy Dunn offers a lot around the squad, really positive. Not expecting to start, but I've no fear of him coming in. And really kind of doing a job if he had to. Ryan Manning obviously will be there. Liam Scales as well. And John Egan, I think, just for that experience, of course. Midfield, Jack Taylor, Alan Brown, Finn Azaz, Connor Coventry, Boston Lowell, Jason Knight, Malumbi. The much maligned Malumbi. For some reason, there's a perception that he's ill disciplined. I don't believe in that. I think he's been brilliant. He came back into the game. A key game for us, Portugal away, was absolutely brilliant. Don't know why he's been left out in the past. I'd question the manager on that. Maybe that's a question for you, Woodheimer, on that some of these lads have come in and actually done some amazing performances and galvanised the squad ahead of players who we've had previously who felt they were probably too big for Ireland on the back of a couple of good seasons at Wolverhampton Wanderers, especially. I'll dig him out there on that one, Doherty. But that's Doherty, because I was called out recently for that, Dave, and I didn't say it. I know I didn't. Forwards, Troy Parrott, Adam Ida, Festi Abasele, Chidozie. I know Festi's not available for the first game. I've got Sinclair Armstrong because I had to put him in there, obviously, because Connor and I have spoken about him so much and what he offers differently. I've got Johnny Kenny in there. It doesn't matter that he's League One. I think he would have been having the conversation with John O'Shea and Heimer ahead of that move to Bolton. and he would have been assured, look, that's not going to threaten you. Go and score goals there. You'll be okay. We know where your ability is. If he was at Celtic still, it wouldn't be a question that he would be in the Ireland squad. So it doesn't matter for me that he's moved to League One. And I have gone with Didsey. And the reason I've gone with Didsey is just the atrocious situation with the injuries. I'm not really optimistic that this is going to happen. But if we had another injury to one of our main strikers, for example, if Adamida was out, I'd have no hesitation having David McGoldrick called up for the Ireland squad just for these 2 games. And you just don't know. Like, I would have no problem with him coming off the bench and offering something different. He won't be on the radar of any of the opposition thinking, let's have a look at him and what he does, and they'll just have no fear about him. But he's just having that kind of twilight of his career in flying form, amazing ability, good in the air, confident as well from the penalty spot, which I think would be important here, possibly. So I've got no problem with him being in Ireland squad. I know Hyman was asked about it several times and was really kind of evasive on it and saying, no, it's not going to happen. They probably are just thinking we have to move on. But I've got no problem with him being in the Ireland squad.
What about 5 strikers? So 5 number 9s? Is that not a bit overkill?
Doesn't matter. No, it's not, because they just it's a squad game, isn't it? Now they just move around and whatever. We could be going for it again. We could be like we might just be flooding the pitch at the end. So we could be, because I look, we're probably going to go off a tangent, and I don't want it yet because we're going to do lots of preview shows, of course. But I've no real faith in Heimer setting us up properly. I think we're either going to get 1-0 and try and protect that. I just have reservations on us tactically, and all of them can go out and do something different, play on the right or the left, and you don't need a main focal point in the sense, like there might be 5 of them who can do that number 9 role, but that's just a muchness, to be honest. They've got their job primarily for me is putting the ball in the back of the net, and I think we've got options. Whoever's in form should be playing.
Fair enough.
Okay, right, here's my squad, which I'll put up here.
Oh, sorry, I had downloaded another.
There we go. So this is my one here, not the stitch up that Connor attempted. So goalkeepers: Kelleher, Mark Travers, Josh Keeley, because just the injury levels. Travers nice and rested. Defenders: we have Nathan Collins, Jacob Bryan, Seamus Coleman, Darryl Shea, Jimmy Dunn, Ryan Manning, Liam Scales, Robbie Brady, Andrew Amabamadeli. Probably would have been between Dunn and Egan, to be honest, to be taken out. But yeah, I think Andrew Amabamadeli, he's listened to my advice. He's been revitalized, rejuvenated, and rescued, quite frankly, by my harsh work. And I think he started last, 5 games now for Strasbourg. He's doing quite well, and he's a tippy top player. Bobby's said, even amongst my criticism, I think he's a really superb ball playing defender. Just don't see enough of him, obviously, because of injuries. So hopefully now he'll get back into the Ireland squad. That's if Strasbourg allow him to get into the Ireland squad. They might have a word and say, no. We don't want you traveling. We don't want you doing any of that in case you get injured.
Can't stop him.
No, well, not legally, but they can have a word. They can I think
that most of these clubs have got to just be understanding it's a World Cup. And
I think that day is gone with this sort of
I think so.
World Cup playoff. I think, even though I don't think it would do him any harm, to be honest, missing out and getting, after playing these many games in a row for the first time in a while, and getting that kind of break up for his body wouldn't be actually a bad thing.
It's why I didn't select him, to be honest. I can't count him at the moment. But Dave,
well, I do. I think because you ever see Owen Bombadeli post about how much he loves Ireland, playing for Ireland. So I think if he's selected,
I'm sure he does.
So I don't think it'll be a case for him of like staying. I think he wouldn't listen to Strasbourg a bit. Like probably Stoker trying to get Boston a while to not go, and I know he's desperate to be in the squad. So yeah, I don't think Owen Bombadeli would let that happen, to be honest.
Well, we'll see. It's just my opinion, because this does happen and conversations are had, and pressure put on players by clubs. So anyway, midfielders: Jack Taylor, Alan Brown, Finn Azaz, Conor Coventry, Boston Llewellyn, Jason Knight, and of course Jason Malumbi. Look, we're very light in midfield. Alan Brown is in a very rich vein of form at the moment, and international football is a confidence game. So if he's in great form and he's doing quite well in the Championship for Middlesbrough, I even got to watch him play actually against Fulham. He did quite well, actually. I was quite impressed by him. Technically very poor, but he's just one of those, like, he'll you'd fancy him to do something. He might get a goal for it. He might come on. Would have started him? No. But you never know. You might need a goal in the 70th minute. You bring him on, and he might do something. And yeah, Boston Laval, I want to see this boy in action. We don't have any other options in the centre of the park. So, we're quite threadbare too. Forwards, of course, Troy Parrott, Adamida, although he looks like now he won't be available. Festia Basella is missing for the first game, as is Liam Scales. Chidozie Ogbeni is not playing, so he'd be nice and fresh, I suppose. Sinclair Armstrong, because we don't really have anybody. Same with Johnny Kenny, we don't have anybody. And Harvey Vale as well. I wouldn't go with Smolic. I think his time has come, but I think he will be in the squad. But I do think...
Weird.
What?
Wait like 30 seconds till we go to the predicted squad.
Okay. But I do think he will be in the squad. But I think his time has come and gone.
Yeah.
He had a window there. He was brilliant. It's like 31 goals in the championship. Fantastic. Never played in his proper position for Ireland, to be fair. And for me, just didn't seem like a good fit. And it's a real shame. It's a real shame because I was a big fan of him. And yeah, I think it's time to just kind of move on from him, to be honest. Harvey Vale will come in. Perfect timing. With the timing of his announcement, I would be shocked if he doesn't come in because, and he's done really well, but also the fact we just have nobody. But Smolic might come in because obviously Adamida is probably out as well. Right.
I think he's probably in, to be honest.
Well, we'll see.
I think he just was on holiday, to be honest, for a couple of days. I think he just went to Disneyland for a couple of days, to be honest, or a day.
Okay. Right. Will we go to our predicted squad?
We will indeed.
Right. So here is our predicted squad. Callagher, Travis Bazunu.
Yes, we presume it be, but because we presume Bazuni's going to be named on Thursday's squad no matter what his fitness is, if you get me.
Okay. Collins, Nathan Collins, Jacob Bryan, Seamus Coleman, Darrell O'Shea, Jimmy Dunn, Ryan Manning, Liam Scales, John Egan, Robbie Brady. So we don't think Andrew Amabamandadi is going to come in because we all agree that there might be a wink and a nod from the club.
No, that's not why we think he will be not called in.
That's why I think he won't be.
Martin, is he? I think it's just the continuity thing. He just wants to keep
that, no.
I think it's just continuity. He wants to keep the group together, is what it was in November, and he'll want to just keep the likes of a Jimmy Dunn and John Egan in. Because of continuity, not to have a wink and because I don't think Obama would play anyway. And I think just because, Jimmy Dunn is not a bad person to have around if he's not going to play, sort of thing.
Wink and a nod. Do not underestimate the power of a wink and a nod. Midfielders, Jack Taylor, Alan Brown, Finn Azaz, Conor Coventry, Poston Lamont, Jason Knight, and Jason Malumbi. I think we're all pretty much agreed on this one. Square pegs, square holes. Yeah. Don't really need to add to that one. Forwards, Troy Parrott, Adamida, Festia Basella, Chidozie Ogbeni, Festia Basella again, Johnny Kenny, and Harvey. Two Festies. Which one of those isn't injured, or which one of those isn't suspended? First game,
the bottom Festie.
Right. Yeah, it does happen. And
let me see. Who did we leave out? Smolix is meant to be over Festie.
Okay, so Smolix just said a Festie. These things happen, folks.
We think, I think I agree with you. I think he will select Smolix. I mean, I didn't even mention him in my prediction squad, but I think he will. The fact that it came out that he'd had a conversation with him, and ironic in a sense that if he does get in there, it could be at the expense of like Casey McAteer, who, let's not forget, was like man of the match against Senegal, wasn't he, last year? So it's just incredible. It's just this international football and the Nations League and also the friendlies, the lack of friendlies. It can just turn so quickly, can't it? Like players who can come in and stuff. Like, no one would have predicted Harvey Vale 2 weeks ago. And it's the first time we've had a conversation about him. And now we're saying he will get selected on the basis that his eligibility has changed. So crazy, really.
Yeah. Mark Sykes is also an option there as well. On the right-hand side. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the squad, particularly obviously with Festie out for the first game. Like we've picked 26 players because we think it'll be 25 anyway because of Scales and Festie missing the first game. And you just think, why don't just go for the extra one because of the whole situation with that's what the World Cup is. And I think Northern Ireland have actually picked 27 players for their squad. They picked 4 keepers. They released theirs today. I think maybe because if they lose the final or semi against Italy, they'll have a friendly and might send a few lads back to their club and give other lads a chance to make their case. Maybe Ireland might do the same. And then like Sykes is an option. Casey McAteer, I think Sykes will be over Casey McAteer at this stage because Sykes was actually picked in November, if you remember, but he had to pull out through injury. Jamie McGrath is doing very well at Hibernian. If like the likes of Sammy Smodix isn't in, I wouldn't be surprised if McGrath's the one that takes his place because he can play as that kind of left-sided player and as a number 10. In terms of midfielders, it's kind of that's really we've put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 central midfield players for 2 positions. I know Brown could play wing back, so can Boston Noel. And obviously, actually 6 because Finn is a 10. So, like, we have picked a lot of midfielders, so I wouldn't be surprised if one of them doesn't make it. Could Jason Knight not get back in? Could he magically drop Taylor or Malumbi or Coventry, or not bring Lowell in because of fitness reasons? You wouldn't be surprised if so. So there is, even though despite our limitations at the moment of options, there is still, because our player pool has improved and we've got more and more options. Even like obviously Jack Moylan's doing really well, Didsey obviously as well, and we don't expect like Dawson Devine or anyone from the League of Ireland is going to get a shot this month. But despite our limitations, maybe Kevin O'Toole might keep his place. But yeah, we're not in a terrible position, I don't think, because we still have Tricard as well up front.
Do you think in the goalkeeper situation he might bring in just 4 just because you can do that in a sense, can't you? Just like for training purposes, to give people the opportunity to be part of it. You know, there's a close competition, really, isn't there? Like Keller's clear number 1, but you know, considering that we're going to be going to a World Cup, this is our last opportunity. He's going to be able to have a look at all of them. So I would, if I was him, bring them all in and go, right, this is you are competing now for positions 2 and 3 in this squad, and because of the injuries and stuff, you know, they're under a little bit of pressure then, aren't they? Because even from training, the goalkeepers probably have to see and prove that they're fit and able to do it. So I think that could happen.
McGinty obviously was on a standby in provisional as well, but we don't expect him unless I think it would be a token gesture to bring him in. But like maybe you might bring, because he's based in Dublin, if for training reasons, could you bring him in to train?
They've done that in the past, and they used to do that with Doyle a lot, didn't they? And who was
James Talbot, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him in to train, like maybe not name him, but bring him in to train as an extra keeper.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right. Well. Yeah. I mean. No.
The reason why Omobama Dali will not be in the squad, everyone, just to let you know, is because of a wink of a nod. Not because of not want to pick him, because of a wink and a nod. He's not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think they'll be very reticent to allow him to go. They finally got a tune out of him. They finally have, you know, him playing well, and he's not getting injured. Because look, he is made of glass. I'm sorry, and he is, and they're gonna be very reticent to let him go, and they'll probably say, look, if you really want him, we can't. Really, you can do nothing about it. If Ireland call him up, he has to go. Otherwise, Strasbourg get sanctioned. So they'll probably just turn around and say, look, you know, if you don't mind, we'd rather he didn't go because we've just got him back on the rails here and we pay his wages, blah, blah, blah. And Heyman might turn around and say, do you know what? It's okay. I think he's a supreme player, or the potential to be a great player. And he's probably thinking, do you know what? Bit of continuity. Yeah, that's fine. Now it's not really the time to mess around with my back four or whatever. So I think it's a mixture of both. But I think there will be a conversation from the club, and it will have to be a wink and a nod, because if it's on paper or whatever, that can lead to sanctions by FIFA and UEFA. So
I would also think though with this, he certainly has to have O'Dowda on the standby list, because Robbie Brady could break down, and that left side's such a massive problem. And even just looking at the midfielders that we've selected there, it's that balance. I think, you know, look, we're thinking Shimonik is going to get in there. He can obviously play there, but O'Dowda certainly one I think could be a little bit of a renaissance as well. You know, he's managing. It seems to be managing his body okay. He's playing all the time in Europe for them, and whatever it is, that long term kind of injury seems to be doing all right.
Squad announcement. So yeah, he could pick all three, because he might want to go with that left midfielder. Like, so they want him in that 4-4-2, but I think he'll go with the 5-4-1 again. But yeah, it'll be interesting what he decides to go with now.
Okay, let's wrap it up there. Tell us what you think. Who you want in your squad? What do you think of our selections? Will it be a wink and a nod for Andrew Alabamadelli? Well, not everything is all about stats. That's all I'll say there. Before we go, obviously, don't forget to check out our wonderful travel partners, Travel Ligo. Gillian over there, she'll take good care of you. Any sort of holiday you want, golfing, skiing, football, travel packages, you name it, they're in the link below, and they're fantastic. So help support the podcast and support Travel Ligo. They're really great partners for us over there. Also, don't forget to check out Roar Plus. Link is in the description below. $4.99. You want to get a bit of extra Roar. You want to give us a bit of extra support. That will absolutely, every subscription really helps us do what we do. So thank you so much for that. If you want to check out the shop, that is in the link below, the Etsy shop. Also, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. Anyway, we'll be back on Thursday when the squad is announced. Not sure if it's going to be live, but keep an eye out for the old.
We'll be back before Thursday. Well, me and you will be for League of Ireland, but we'll be back with the squad on Thursday because League of Ireland tonight. So we'll be watching that tonight.
Yes. So Conor and I will be back Wednesday, but we'll be back with the.
We won't see that prick for a couple of days.
Jesus,
no need. I was just about to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day, but I won't bother my hole now.
You can wish
the only March he celebrates is on the 12th of July, but anyway.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Okay, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. I'm David Dunn. He's Mark Prendergast, and of course, that's the angry little fella down the bottom is Conor McAvoy. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll see you on the next one.